Welcome, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into a really fascinating world. Imagine the sun burning so intensely, it actually, shapes human evolution.
Yeah, and a world where, ancient fears are very real, lurking just outside the village, and where an ordinary night can suddenly turn, well, extraordinary.
Exactly. We're looking at excerpts from a narrative called The Sun's Fire and the Little Beast.
Yeah.
It paints this picture of survival, adaptation.
And some truly weird, reality-bending stuff. It asks what survival really means in such a place.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack this. We'll dig into the source material, pull out the surprising details, the key insights about how these people live, their community, and this epic encounter that happens.
So it makes you ask, what does it take? And what happens when things just go completely off the rails, reality-wise?
And the people themselves are unique right off the bat. They've got these physical adaptations to the crazy sunlight.
And their lifespans. It mentions they live incredibly long. So, like, an 8-year-old character is mentioned.
They do. Yeah.
Right, Meha. She's 8, but in our terms, she's effectively, what, 50?
50 years old? Yeah.
Yeah,
That whole age concept is wild, isn't it?
it really is.
So let's dive into that. Life under this scorching sun. The Traded people.
Okay, so the environment first. The sun. It's not just bright. It's so extreme that people naturally evolved very dark skin, almost black.
And black eyes.
Black eyes, yeah. And even purple hair. The text stresses this was extremely rapid adaptation, like hyper-evolution almost.
Wow. Survival pressure must be immense.
Absolutely. It's the only way they could have survived there, it seems.
Yeah.
And that adaptation, it even extends to their lifespan. They live to be nearly 500.
500 years. So Meha, at 8, she's lived a good chunk of a human life already.
But still has that kid's curiosity,
Yeah.
and impulsiveness. It's a really interesting mix.
And their home, Traded Village. It's described as extremely small and not nearly as developed.
Right. And the people from the richer Nepal kingdom nearby, the High Lords, they apparently call them the primitive peoples.
Primitive peoples because of their lifestyle.
Yeah, it's all hard labor and survival, which is contrasted sharply with Nepal, where they have comfy beds and afternoon strolls with tea. It sort of sets up this inequality dynamic right away.
It really does. It frames their struggle. And Maiha, our 8-year-old protagonist, she's the embodiment of this. Dark purple dreads down past her feet.
Wow, that long.
Yeah. And eyes as dark as a starless night sky. Another adaptation to the sun, clearly.
Makes sense.
And we meet her, and she's already struggling. The village well is dry. She's got into trouble at school, and she's out hunting for dinner, trying to catch something called a tippet,
Tippet, what's that?
some kind of small desert creature, it seems, resilient. And it's her mom's favorite food. So her day is just tough. Survival, even for a kid.
It really grounds you in their reality. Scarcity is just life.
Sure.
But there's more than just daily hardship, right? There are these whispers of danger.
Oh, yeah. Early on, there's this old man visiting from Nepal, and he just casually drops this line about the monster still lurks here in Traded.
Chilling. Just like that. Sets a real tone.
Definitely. And it gets more specific. Maya overhears her parents talking at night. They're worried
About the monster.
about the Tuscan beast.
Yeah.
They say it's getting closer and closer every day.
Tuscan Beast. Okay, so it has a name.
And there's this whole other layer involving Nepal Kingdom. Apparently, there was a false rumor about gold being found in Traded.
Uh-oh. Gold rumors are never good.
Exactly. So Nepal sent their men there, even though Traded is struggling so badly, they don't even have sufficient water.
Wow. Exploiting them based on a lie while they're desperate for basics like water? That adds a whole political dimension.
It really does. But then you get this moment of pure wonder. Maya and her friend, Sarkra, they see something in the sky.
What do they see?
A god's light, that's what they call it. A beautiful green light filling the whole sky. They think it's like a god or an angel.
A green light. Interesting. A stark contrast to the monster talk.
Totally. But they also know the elders will probably just dismiss it. You know, a figment of your imagination, silly little girls.
Ah, yeah. That tension between what you see and what you're told is real. Classic.
So Meha's day has been rough. Well's dry, trouble at school, mom's probably mad.
Recipe for a bad decision.
You guessed it. She decides to sneak out at night to the well to get water. She's scared of her mother's reaction.
Oh, boy. Sneaking out at night in a place where monsters lurk. Smart.
Well, she tries to be sneaky, wraps herself in this huge blanket to hide, which apparently just makes her look more suspicious to the nosy neighbor, Mrs. Owe.
Huh? Classic kid logic. The giant moving blanket isn't suspicious at all.
So she heads out past the lantern-lit paths of the village towards the well on the outskirts.
Into the untamed land.
Exactly. And it's not quiet out there. The description is great. Swaying trees and screaming crickets, comcar bugs, and nairi brush.
Nairi brush?
Yeah, some kind of thorny local plant. But the sky is amazing. Billions of stars. So it's a real mood. Beautiful, but tense.
You're waiting for something to happen.
It does. At the well, she feels water drip on her. But it's not raining. Then hot air.
Hot air, okay.
And this stench. Like 1,000 dead men.
Whoa, that's vivid. A smell. That's the first sign.
Yeah, before she sees anything, just this awful, ancient-smelling horror.
Yeah.
Primal fear kicks in, you imagine.
Definitely sets the stage. So what is it?
It's the Carmonger. The description is intense. Body of a giant red tarantula.
Ugh.
But covered in scales, like a snake.
Okay, weirder.
And it gets weirder. It also has features of a dragon.
Yeah.
And it's huge, like dragon-size huge.
A tarantula snake dragon. Seriously.
Seriously. Fangs like swords, claws like spears, eyes like the reddest of blood. And the text says it looks neither dead nor alive.
Neither dead nor alive. That's unsettling. Just pure nightmare fuel. A being outside the natural order, maybe?
Seems like it. Its purpose just seems to be to feed. Purely monstrous.
So Mayha's facing this thing. Alone.
Just as it seems hopeless.
Cap.
Bam. Something else arrives. A gold being.
Gold, like literally golden.
Yeah. Made of light, it seems. Shoots through the sand incredibly fast. So fast you can't even see its face. Just this blur of gold light.
Wow. Talk about a dramatic entrance.
And powerful. It jumps up, punches the Carmonger right on the chin.
Punches it.
Yeah. Sends this massive creature flying like 30 feet in the air.
30 feet. Okay, that's some serious power.
Then it punches it again, slamming it back down so hard it causes an earthquake.
Incredible. And this golden being, is it huge too?
No, that's the thing. It's described as taller than most of the men in Mayha's village. So tall for a human maybe, but still much smaller than the Carmonger.
So it's David versus Goliath, but David is made of light and punches like a meteor.
Pretty much. It wins easily. Finishes the Carmonger off by crushing its skull with a rock that supposedly weighed more than a house.
Picks up a house-sized rock.
Okay.
This being is on another level.
Absolutely. But then comes the real shocker. The battle's over. The being turns to Mayha.
And she finally sees it.
Yes, it has sparkling gold eyes. But then the description gets very specific. Extremely coarse and thick hair landing a little above its shoulders, almond-shaped eyes, dark bronze skin, high cheekbones, and a very, very muscular physique.
Huh. Sounds human. Or humanoid, at least.
And then Mayha has this thought, the big reveal. It's a girl, Mayha thought with shock.
It's a girl. The golden powerhouse is a girl. Wow, that definitely subverts expectations.
Totally. Not just some abstract force, but a person. A young woman, apparently, with this incredible power.
So what happens then? Does she talk?
She approaches Mayha, and as she gets closer, the gold light radiating from her body fades, and her eyes turn brown, which calms Mayha down a bit.
Okay, so the gold power isn't constant. It can be turned off.
Seems like it. Mayha's trembling, obviously, but she manages to say something like, you protected me.
Acknowledging what just happened? The connection?
Yeah, but here's where it gets interesting about the power. As soon as Mayha says that, the girl's eyes flash gold again. She starts to levitate, like gold fire flow through her veins.
Whoa, so saying that triggered the power again.
Looks like it. But only for a moment. Then the power stops, and she just falls back to the ground.
Huh. So it's volatile. Triggered by emotion, maybe. Or maybe it just takes a lot out of her.
Yeah, it raises so many questions, right? Is it hard to
Yeah.
control? Is it linked to gratitude or something? We don't know.
Yeah.
It's immense power, but maybe unstable.
Exhausting. Maybe using it drains her incredibly fast.
Could be. And then after all that cosmic level fighting and power surges, the girl just looks at Mayha and says,
What?
I'm hungry.
She's hungry after crushing a monster with a giant rock. That's surprisingly mundane.
Right. It's such a human basic thing to say. It brings her right back down to earth, despite everything we just saw.
And that connects to something else in the text, doesn't it? That line about the story unfolding.
Yeah, exactly. The source material ends with this thought. A story was already taking shape, waiting to be lived out rather than be told. A story best to be witnessed through eyes of the one who feels the sun's fire flood every vein.
The sun's fire flood every vein. That sounds like it could refer to Mayha, living under that intense sun. Or maybe this golden girl. Or both.
Ooh, good point. It links the environment, the adaptation, and maybe this strange new power. It suggests Meha's perspective is key here.
So quite a journey we've tracked. From Meha's tough daily life in Treat It
Dealing with dry wells and hunting tippets,
to suddenly facing this Carmonger nightmare.
and then being saved by this incredible, mysterious golden girl.
It's this amazing blend, isn't it? The harsh, gritty reality of survival and adaptation meeting something purely fantastical.
The green light, the monster, the golden being, it all just crashes into their world.
And leaves us right here with this incredibly powerful being just saying, she's hungry.
Which leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? What does that mean? Is it just physical hunger?
Or is it something more? A hunger for connection? A hunger related to her power, that sun's fire in her veins? What fuels that kind of energy?
It's such a provocative place to leave off.
Hmm.
What kind of journey are Meha and this golden girl starting? In this world shaped by rapid adaptation, scarce resources, and now cosmic power.
We've just scratched the surface, it feels like. You've had a glimpse into this world, and yeah, the story's definitely just begun.